yourself for the water skiing cat. That's pretty impressive, huh? There it goes. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Did you really expect to see a cat out jumping the wake on slalom ski behind the Big Merc? This is the kind of big-name attraction that lures tourists to a certain Florida water show. So watch for it if you go on vacation down there.
This is your news. 4 News at 6.
The company KSTP uses for helicopter services has made news before. You may remember this dramatic rescue at St. Anthony Falls in the summer of 1991.
But now a Channel 5 helicopter is in the news because it crashed. 5 people were aboard when the helicopter crashed late this afternoon in Inver Grove Heights near Highway 55 and Highway 52. This is what the scene looks like right now from our own news helicopter hovering over the scene. The wreckage is down there in the construction zone on Highway 52. Our Dan McDonald is there right now. And Dan, explain for anybody who may have missed our earlier reports who was aboard this, and then also, of course, how it happened.
Okay, Cindy, this is actually a helicopter that has KSTP logos all over, and it's a helicopter that the station leases often, but it's not a helicopter that the station owns. It's owned by another company, and today it was being leased by a company that has nothing to do with the television station. It's our understanding it's being leased by the owner of a concrete supply company that was involved in the construction here on Highway 52. That she was taking 3 customers up for a thank you trip. It was supposed to be some sort of a leisure trip to kind of survey and get an aerial view of the work they were doing. Unfortunately, it ended in tragedy. Now, eyewitnesses tell us that the helicopter apparently was just flying too low when it caught a power line and crashed. We're going to look at some videotape right now of the crash, and as you can see there, as you see those pictures, it is amazing that anyone survived all this. The 5 people aboard the helicopter were conscious when passing motorists stopped by to try to help them. All 5 managed to crawl out of the wreckage even though they were badly hurt. One man was completely engulfed in flames. He was staggering down the road crying for help when Juarez Zaragoza came to his aid.
I was just screaming at him to get down. He got down. I just whipped off my coat and I just... started to put him out. Hold on, this is getting...
Mr. Zaragoza was just one of several heroes in this situation, passing motorists, construction workers here who rushed to the scene and did what they could to try to save the victims of this crash. Now, we're told that there were employees with 3 different companies aboard this helicopter: Schaefer Construction, a company called Natural Minerals, and a company called Simplex. Now, we don't know if the helicopter experienced any sort of mechanical difficulty or if they indeed were just flying too low as they tried to get a good look at the situation here. Don and Cindy?
All right, thanks very much, Dan McDonald from Inver Grove Heights. Don?
Amy Marsalis is live at the St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center where the injured are hospitalized. Now, we talked to you at 5 o'clock. Amy, has the situation changed any since we heard from you then?
Don, not to our knowledge. 2 are still in critical condition, 2 serious, and 1 in fair condition. As we told you earlier, all have burns. 3 have what are considered moderately severe burns. 1 person is severely burned over most of his body. Of those 4, 1 person has a broken back, and amazingly, 1 person has relatively minor injuries. The surgeon we talked to, the trauma surgeon, said that person is well enough. It's likely that person will be released later tonight. Don?
Did we have an opportunity to talk with the attending physician? You spent some time with that individual today. Did they tell him, the attending physician, how they thought this accident might have happened?
Yes, they did. Dr. Ayers said that all of the patients were alert, were conscious when they came into the hospital, and 2 of them thought that they had hit a cable at about 50 feet. And I also talked to the owner of the helicopter who came here to check on the pilot and the other people. The man who owns the helicopter told me they had taken this chopper up this morning. He had on a separate flight for about 2 hours. They were flying around checking power cables, doing infrared checks, checking for hot spots in power lines. So they had this ship up earlier this morning for several hours, and then this other pilot took it out this afternoon on what was supposed to be a thank you on another person's part to people she had done business with. Again, the doctor here, getting back to the condition, says he expects all 5 people to make it, but says 3 of them could expect to have very prolonged hospital stays because of their injuries. And again, they're continuing to evaluate them for any possible fractures and internal injuries.
All right, Amy, thank you very much. Amy Marsalis reporting from St. Paul City.
Well, this isn't the first time a KSTP helicopter has been involved in a crash. Not too long ago, they had to make a hard landing in a Bloomington parking lot during a traffic report when they had mechanical problems. And back in 1985, a KSTP helicopter crashed in Farmington with 2 people aboard. The helicopter was declared a total loss, but the 2 people on board in that 1985 crash walked away.
Now we have some of the day's other local news. A judge today set bail for Minneapolis gang leader Sharif Willis at $250,000. Judge Harold Kalina rejected both the prosecution's request for $1 million and the defense suggestion of $20,000 bail. He said both of those were unrealistic.
The girlfriend of the man accused of being a serial rapist testified today. Karina Laramie told jurors she lied to protect Baugh about a cash card he gave her early in the morning of December 13th of 1992. That card was stolen hours earlier from a victim. She says Timothy Baugh told her he got it from his friend, but the judge would not allow the testimony unless it comes from Timothy Baugh on the stand.
Kansas Senator Bob Dole, one of the most powerful Republicans in the country, was in the Twin Cities again today, campaigning for local Republican candidates Arnie Carlson and Rod Grams. National leaders stumping for your vote on behalf of Minnesota politicians has become commonplace, what with visits from Dole and President Clinton. But their visits are not limited to helping the race for governor and Senate. Scott Reynolds joins us now with news about national figures in town for the 6th District congressional race. Scott.
Well, Don, the 6th District seat is being vacated by U.S. Senate candidate Rod Grams, and the Republican Party has a goal, of course, of becoming the majority party in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, to do that, its candidates have to win dozens of seats now held by Democrats, but more importantly, they have to hold on to those seats that have been Republican, like the 6th District.
I'm Bill Luther, running for Congress here.
The DFL candidate for the 6th District, Bill Luther, spent the afternoon shaking hands with potential voters in downtown Stillwater. That was miles away, both in distance and style, from his Republican opponent, Tad Jude. Jude welcomed Republican heavy hitter Newt Gingrich of Georgia in Minnesota to campaign on Jude's behalf with a message for voters.
They should ask themselves, what signal do they want to send to their national government? They want business as usual and help Bill Clinton and do what the Clinton Democrats want, then they ought to vote for Luther. If they want to change the way things are going, if they're tired of the crime, if they really want to send a signal of dramatic change, then they ought to vote for Tad Jude. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward process.
The race for the 6th District, which includes dozens of Twin Cities suburbs, is still too close to call and has featured some of the harshest campaign ads in the state this year.
Liberal Bill Luther tough on crime? What a joke.
Jude hitting Luther for being soft on crime.
Tad Jude wants to amend the U.S. Constitution.
And Luther hitting Jude for his position on abortion. Today, Luther received support from national abortion rights and women's groups to help in his fight against Jude. Speakers compared Tad Jude's stand on abortion to that of defeated gubernatorial candidate Alan Quist.
If you like Alan Quist, you'll love Tad Jude. Alan Quist was defeated in the independent Republican primary because of his extremist views. Tad Jude holds the same extremist views and has taken his anti-abortion position one step further by introducing and voting on legislation to make abortion illegal or unavailable.
Now, Jude responded to that criticism by claiming his support of tougher sentences for rapists and mandatory HIV testing for rapists as evidence of his support of women's issues. And Don, the latest we've heard in this race is that Jude does have a slight lead, but again, it is too close to call at this time.
All right, thank you very much. Scott Reynolds reporting. Coming up, Rebecca Coles gets her own scarecrow next, plus she has some winterizing tips for your garden.
And then after weather, Making Sense with Kevin Berger.
Want to turn your house into a haunted house in honor of Halloween? I'm Kevin Berger. Coming up, I'll give you a hand with some ideas that won't cost you an arm and a leg.
You're watching 4 News at 6.
While spending less on the steak, you're spending more on the steak sauce. They marked down the lettuce, then they marked up the salad dressing. At some grocery stores, it's hard to find a real value. But at Cub Foods, we've made everything a really smart buy. At Cub, you can spend less on 25,000 items every day. So when you go grocery shopping, you'll never experience the ups and downs. Lower prices every aisle, every shelf, every day. Cub Foods, the spend less store.
Buick owners, we know you love the Buick you're driving now. After all, you gave Buick its reputation for owner loyalty. Now, we're giving you something back. The Buick Owner Bonus. Make your best deal on a new Buick, then save even more. Get a special incentive direct from the factory. It's only for Buick owners, and it's only for a limited time. So see your Buick dealer now and save big on the Buick Owner Bonus. Hurry, you've earned it.
Perkins presents Dinner with No Reservations. Try our new savory stuffed pork chop or our new hibachi chicken. A juicy chop filled with country stuffing and served with potato pancakes. Or a specially marinated chicken breast over rice pilaf with baby carrots. Both so delicious you can play it either way with no reservations at all. Perkins, breakfast, dinner, and everything in between.
Check out the value in store for you.
Savings are always in style with original cowboy cut Wrangler jeans from Mills Fleet Farm. Official Pro Rodeo jeans in black or indigo start at $24.99. Men's Wrangler Western wear shirts start at just $17.99. Keep your home free of energy-wasting drafts with 3M window insulator kits. This easy-to-install film shrinks tight for a tough weather seal. The 3M 42 by 62-inch kit is now $279. For the lowest overall prices every day, shop Mills Fleet Farm.
After last night's hard freeze, we're going to get real serious about winterizing the garden.
That's right. We've got the window of opportunity is about this big right now, and it's closing rather quickly. We've been talking about winterizing your water garden. We showed you what to do with some of the bog plants. Well, tonight we're going to show you what to do with those lilies. Here's some information for you.
Well, the first thing you've got to do is pull them out of the pond. All the lilies have to come out, and you store them in the basement in sand.
Sand.
So that's
okay.
And you want to
keep them wet?
Yeah, you keep them slightly moist.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take this over here and get rid of all the dirt. And what we're going to do is get all of the roots free from dirt.
Okay.
And
so
just kind of wash them away. You can do this with your garden hose.
Now, should we worry about damaging any of those?
No, you can cut back a lot of these little roots, but it's not a crucial thing.
So just clean it off.
That's right. And then you pick off all the leaves.
Okay.
Cut that all back. You had some blooms here too.
Cut those off?
I guess so. It's hard to do that, but
yeah.
Got to winter it.
So we just want the corm.
That's right. And so now you're going to get it all rinsed off. A little more water.
Okay.
All right. Okay, now we're going to pack it in sand and in a bag and keep it moist for the winter. And now you might want to get a little more sand than this, but what we're going to do is completely immerse this in the sand.
I've got some more here.
Yeah, so put some more on.
It right
just
on top.
bury it. That's it.
Okay.
All right. And then we're going to put enough water so it's just moist but not wet.
Okay.
And all we have to do is we can put other bog plants in here too.
Okay.
And then we're going to seal it up and put it in your basement.
Now, do we need to water it throughout the winter?
No. You might want to check it, make sure it doesn't have dried out if there was a hole in the bag.
And no air pot. We don't need to poke holes in the plastic or anything.
No. You want it to just kind of keep moist and put it in a dark, cool place.
Okay, we're done.
That's it.
Seems like a lot of work, but I'll tell you it's worth it. If you've ever purchased one of those plants, you know how expensive they can be. The sun just dipped down in the horizon. Take a look at a spectacular sunrise. Don't do it now, though. We've got some weather information for you. 50 degrees is the current temperature out there right now. Clear skies, winds out of the south at 12 miles an hour. Those south winds will help the temperatures stay up tonight. Barometric pressure at 30.09, and it is falling. Daytime high today in the Twin Cities up to 53. Overnight low dropped down to 28 degrees. Forecast for tonight looks like this. It will be clear, it will be breezy, and it's get even time.
Rebecca.
What?
Your lips aren't moving.
No, and you know what? The great thing about this one is I can iron the wrinkles out. As I age, I just pull out the iron. 37 degrees. As we take a look at the forecast for tomorrow, this is what's going to happen. High pressure continues to dominate the weather picture, and you can see clouds out to the west, and that will affect us somewhat as we head toward the weekend. But boy, some great temperatures, so enjoy. It will be 65 on Thursday, and my lips still aren't moving. You probably like that, Don, don't you? Friday, thickening clouds, 63 degrees. The extended forecast for the weekend looks like this. We are going to bring the shot for showers Friday night, Saturday morning, 55, and then Sunday and Monday, partly cloudy. Temperatures come down just a bit. And just to give you an idea, the kind of temperatures that we are going to be experiencing the next couple of days, over here.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. See, can you see the similarity?
Yeah.
The kind of temperatures we're experiencing the next couple of days won't return to Minnesota until May 14th, so enjoy.
All right. That even has dimples like you do.
Pretty big ones, too.
All right, Rebecca, thank you.
You bet.
Well, here is a look at what the networks led with at 5:30. CBS and the others began with the historic peace treaty signing between Israel and Jordan. NBC focused on President Clinton's speech to the Jordan parliament tonight, saying peace and hope must triumph over violence and despair. ABC reported that King Hussein of Jordan considers the treaty the crowning achievement of his life, and he has been king since he was 17 years old.
Now we have a look at how Minnesota companies performed today on Wall Street. Today's top gainers were H.B. Fuller, Grand Casinos, and the St. Paul companies. Among today's losers, Dayton Hudson, Deluxe Check, and Medtronic. The City Business Index of the 40 fastest growing companies finished up about 0.6 of a percentage point at 69.63, and the Dow Jones Industrials closed down 2.36 points to 38.48.
Today's stock information was supplied by Dane Bosworth, who also bring you the Investment Connection.
If you know a bargain when you see one, then you'll love Levitt's fabulous Bargain Day sale.
You'll love it at Levitt's.
You'll find hundreds of bargains throughout Levitt's showroom. Here's an example. Only $19.99 buys this Leathermate 4-piece sectional with luxurious leather wherever the body touches. You get a comfortable recliner unit, armless unit, wedge, and a full-size innerspring sleeper. Now at Levitt's. But do hurry, this is a limited offer.
You'll love it at Levitt's.
At some places, their idea of a good meal is a burger, fries, and a drink, or fries, burger, and a drink. But right now at KFC, you can get real meal deals starting at just $2.99. Choose from leg and thigh quarter of the Colonel's rotisserie gold chicken, or original recipe, or extra tasty crispy chicken. Individual coleslaw, mashed potatoes and gravy, and a hot buttermilk biscuit for just $2.99. Or for just a little more, you can get all the great food you can eat at participating all-you-can-eat buffet restaurants. Great food, great value. That's the Colonel's way.
It had to be you.
Maybe it's the way it drives like a car, or that it exceeds 1998 car safety standards, or the fact that it gives you more choices than any other minivan. Dodge Caravan, the best-selling minivan of all time. No wonder so many people buy it, and so many companies try to copy it.
It had to be you, a wonderful you. It had to be you.
What if you knew the end was near?
The object is heading toward Earth at an airspeed of 32,000 miles per hour.
What would you do?
Go into panic?
Oh my God, I see it now.
Where would you run?
I would stay with the children at home.
In a few seconds, you'll be able to hear them hurtling down towards Earth.
Who could you trust?
The government does not have a plan.
Sunday night on CBS.
Why aren't they shooting at this?
A movie you won't want to miss. Without warning, feel free to panic.
Tonight, Kenneth Branagh, Beavis and Butthead creator Mike Judge, and the Go-Go's.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's program has been classified top secret by the Pentagon. Well, there's a lot of kids. It's the best holiday of the year, and Halloween is just a few days away.
But it's not just children who love the scariest holiday, so it makes sense for Kevin Berger to do a story on grown-ups. It seems every year adults enjoy dressing up, decorating, and haunting their own homes. Tonight, reporter Kevin Berger has some ideas on how you can get into the spirit of this spooky season.
How to haunt a house, huh? The good ideas are out there, but you have to know who to ask.
Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the haunted house. Ooh, sorry about the cockroach problem. Actually, it's just peanut shells.
That's Dan Witkowski, a Minneapolis magician. He started pulling stunts like peanut shells under the welcome mat as a kid. His favorite tricks are included in a book published just in time for trick-or-treat season. How to haunt a house? I would think cobwebs would be mandatory.
All this is, in this case, is polyester fiber that any fabric store has, stretched very thin. Now, to add the final effect, after you drape it over railings and banisters, is to add a few little fake spiders. And so you like the last effect, huh?
I popped out over that one.
No, well, let me show you something else. Hold out your hand, Kevin. Close your eyes. And if they popped out over that, I think you'll like this. Take a few human eyeballs. Ooh. Actually, open up your hands. It's nothing more than cocktail onions.
Dan's other simple suggestions include a ghoul made of glow-in-the-dark paint on black fabric, scary shadows from cardboard cutouts, eerie light from colored light bulbs, and, of course, creepy crawlies.
Look at the little worms. Take a bite.
Edible worm?
Well, actually, these are nothing more than Oreo cookies crunched up with gummy worms on top. Oh, wait, at least I think these are the fake worms.
So, as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of money to haunt a house. It just takes a lot of imagination and some help from your friends. And your fiends. Kevin Berger for News at 6.
She'd never met this boy until he was convicted of murder. Why is this grandmother fighting to get him out of jail? An all-new 48 Hours tonight.
Nature lover seeks outdoor type for getaway weekends. Interest in camping and hiking, a plus. Ownership of Jeep Cherokee, a definite plus. Social climbing highbrows need not apply. P.S. Please send picture of Jeep Cherokee.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer for the best in automotive sales, service, and value.
So I did some checking, and I found out $2.99 is really the same thing as $3, except it's a penny less. So some burger joint's got a meal cost $2.99. Big whoop. Who cares if it's only $2.99 if I'm not going to like eating it? But if you make it taste good, you know, like a Whopper. Flame broiled, not fried. Maybe throw in some fries and a drink. I'll gladly pay you $2.99. Hey, I'd even go as high as $3.02.
Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Rod Grams is attacking Ann Winia on taxes? Maybe he should have paid his. Rod Grams failed to pay his 1993 taxes until the newspapers caught him. And it turns out that Grams has been sued or had liens placed on his property 36 times. Businesses going under, non-payment of bills, shoddy work, 36 lawsuits, liens in the last few years, not paying taxes. And Rod Grams wants to be our senator?
Earning a living. For the past 100 years, people have been looking to us for investments to help make all their hard work really pay off. Piper Jaffray, looking toward the future since 1895.
Well, this is all the Vikings need to see to remind them of what can happen in Tampa on Sunday. In last year's loss, the Vikings up 7-6. Sean Salisbury's pass intercepted and returned for a touchdown. And the lowly Bucks ended up with a well-deserved 23-10 win. The Vikings, who are still around from last year, won't forget that upset. For others, it may be more difficult to get the juices flowing for the Bucks, but that's where Warren Moon earns some of his income.
So that's where some of my leadership qualities have to come out more this week and weeks like this, where guys can tend to overlook this team or come in a little complacent, not have the same preparation for this game as they would, say, for a Green Bay. So that's where I step in a little bit more and maybe talk and become a little bit more vocal.
Former Viking offensive tackle Tim Irwin is expected to be recovered from his injuries to face his old teammates, and it will be good to see old once again. Well, the state girls tennis tournament started today with SPA in action again, but this is a rebuilding year for SPA Summit, which was knocked out by Orono in today's team quarterfinals. Lindsey Nelson of Orono in the near court outlasted Lynn Erickson of SPA Summit in 3 sets, and Orono beat SPA the final 3-2. It was Blaine over Fairmont, that final 5-2, and Hopkins over St. Cloud Tech 4-3. In AA quarterfinals, Roseville area 4, Osseo 3, and Duluth East defeated Winona, that final also 4-3. Well, Bill Blair can coach and teach and yell until his tongue turns blue, but he'll still have a difficult time turning the Wolves into a fourth quarter winners. It takes talent to do that. The Wolves learned a lesson last night as another fourth quarter lead evaporated, this time against the Bulls, or more appropriately, Scottie Pippen. It may be pre-season, but Pippen still turned it up a notch down the stretch, scoring the Bulls' last 10 points from all angles and all spots on the floor. The Wolves will have to find their own go-to man as Pippen closed it out in style for the Wolves to become competitive in fourth quarters. Well, of all the baseball awards, American League MVP may be most tainted by the strike. Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey Jr., and Albert Bell were involved in a wonderful race when the season ended so abruptly. Thomas won the award today, becoming the first American leaguer to win back-to-back MVPs since Roger Maris in '60 and '61. His .353 average, .729 slugging percentage, and 38 homers were truly impressive. But would someone else have surged down the stretch? Of course, we'll never know. Thomas ran away with 24 of the 28 first-place votes. Griffey finished second with Cleveland's Bell, and Kenny Lofton third and fourth. Well, there isn't a Twins fan alive who will ever tire of seeing our Those Were the Plays feature for today. Game 6 of the '91 series was a must-win for the Twins, or Atlanta would be crowned world champs. Kirby Puckett wouldn't allow that to happen. This was Kirby's game. He saved at least one run with a remarkable catch in the third inning, reaching new heights on the plexiglass. The best was yet to come in the 11th inning on Jack Buck's famous call.
The hitter swings at the arm motion. Into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, and that's of course when Jack Morris took over and Gene Larkin, but this was Kirby Puckett's night and really was Kirby Puckett's World Series as well.
Just makes
Anybody
you
figure out?
shivers.
Yeah, I guess. Wonder what his vertical leap was in that thing.
We already know Ann Winnia's record on taxes, but Ann Winnia's record on crime is more alarming. Ann Winnia voted against tougher sentences for violent criminals, against building more prisons, even voted against making criminals share a jail cell.
Rod Grams? Rod Grams has a tough plan to fight crime. Longer mandatory jail time, the death penalty, more prisons. That's why Rod Grams has been endorsed by our police. Rod Grams, he works for us. Rod Grams for U.S. Senate.
On top of everything else you get in a Mercury Sable, it's nice to know you get to choose between a sedan or a wagon.
And for a limited time, get your choice of savings with 2.9% financing or $500 cash back. Sable offers dual airbags, air conditioning, available ABS brakes, and a smooth, comfortable ride. Sedan or wagon, 2.9% financing or $500 cash back. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Mercury Sable at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
What are the four main colors in printing?
Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
How is type measured?
In picas and points.
How can your regular phones work like an expensive system?
I have no idea.
You can't be an expert at everything. With simple features from US West like call forwarding, conference calling, and call transfer, your regular phones can work harder for you without costing a lot. Hey, you know printing.
Nice ampersand.
And we know phones. The small business group at US West.
I have a vision for America.
What do we really know about Tad Jude's vision for America? Tad Jude wants to amend the U.S. Constitution to make abortion a crime for women and their doctors. Tad Jude brought gag rule legislation to Hennepin County, trying to prevent doctors from even talking to women about abortion. And Tad Jude even voted against a resolution condemning bombing and violence at clinics. Haven't we seen Tad Jude's extremist vision of America someplace before?
The new Minnesota driver's licenses have been getting a lot of hype, but Dimensions uncovered some serious problems.
Details next on your News at 6.